everybody. Today is Friday. Welcome to Box Seats. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians. Let me bring in my man Fig. See how he's doing today. Fig, thank you for joining the show. What's going on? How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm good, man. How you doing, man? It's TGIF, baby.
I'm trying to tell you. Is it cold down there? Because you got on a coat. Is it cold? Because it's hot.
No, man. I just do this on, man. Being a little comfortable in the house.
I understand. Rodney Perry in the building. How you doing, sir?
What's up, gentlemen? It's not TGIF though.
No,
it's BLD.
What's
Boston's
BLD?
last day.
Oh, shit.
Man, what's happening, man? How you doing, sir?
Good. What's going
my
on,
God.
Clint? How y'all doing today?
We're doing
Good,
okay,
good.
man.
What up, Amir?
Thank you for
What's
joining the
going
show
on?
today, bro. I appreciate you joining the show. Yeah. I sure hope today is Boss's last day because if it ain't, Rodney Perry going to hear a whole lot of I'm going to let him have it. Let him have it. All right,
Just
so
send my money, brother.
let's get ready to jump into the show, man. Fig, I'm going to start out with you. I don't even know if you heard about this story, man. The top story, we got to get this thing popping off is, man, Naomi Osaka is launching her own sports agency. She calls it Evolve, right? She's leaving IMG. It was very interesting. She's leaving IMG. For those of you who sitting at home watching, don't even realize this and everything else, she's the highest paid female athlete in the world. Now, her starting this thing, she's 24 years old. And Fig, check this out. Kyrie Irving found out about that and shot her, obviously a comment saying, hey, do you guys got any room over there for some hoopers? So with that being said, Fig, I'm going to start out with you. Tell me what you think about Naomi Osaka leaving IMG at 24 years old and saying, hey, I want to start to do this thing on my own. You know what I mean? Fig, talk to you. What you think, bro?
You know, man, I'm not going to be how like older people like get off my lawn type of older people or in my day and stuff like that. I got a lot of respect for these young people, man, these young stars. This young lady decided to take the money out of the hands of what we consider, man, I'm trying to clean this up, Frank, but listen, I'm all for people taking black people taking the reins finally and making decisions for themselves and making their own money. And Lamar Jackson is also his own agent. I mean, our ice is just as cold as theirs. And this young lady at 24 years old, she realized that, and other people are realizing that I could get along and jump on this bandwagon with her. I'm 100% for that. Let's keep Hollywood out of our pockets.
Talent is also joining the show, bro. How you doing, sir? Talent, how you doing?
I'm good money, baby. I'm good money over here. How y'all doing, man?
All right, we doing good. Rodney
I
Perry.
clicked in right on the word money. Somebody got some money?
We're gonna come to who got money or not. We're gonna find out about that soon. We're gonna come in, Rodney Perry. What you think about a young lady like her, man? The crazy thing about this is we tend to forget about tennis. We tend to forget about these female athletes, but we cannot not pay attention to her. You got to pay attention to her, right? In my you got to pay attention to what she's doing because right now, in the world of sports, she's already made a lot of headway already before the sports agency thing. What's your take on this, Rodney Perry?
I wouldn't go with her agency ever. She can't. She emotionally unstable. Have we forgot? Ain't this the same girl that couldn't play tennis? And you gonna put your career in her hands so she can have a meltdown? No, thank you.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. All right. So Amir, what you
I
think?
can make it longer. I just thought the Fig. He can make it longer.
Okay.
That's my motto. I always make it longer.
Pause.
Amir, let me ask you, Amir. For a young lady like this, people may look at it like how Roddy's saying it, and people could look at it like what Fig is saying. But I look at it like a young lady, 24 years old. She's already doing something. She's the highest paid female athlete in the world. She's doing something right. Amir, what's your take?
She playing tennis.
I think that this is great, man. I think that this is definitely a thing for us to look out for the future. You know, we talk about on this show all the time, you know, unfortunately, how a lot of the old guard has, for years and years and years, exploited the players, exploited the young people who have been a part of these, you know, in the various organizations. So now to see a lot of these young players taking the reins for themselves and saying, hey, look, let me give this a shot on my own, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who put forth the time, the effort, the energy, and everything else that unfortunately makes these sports agencies as viable as they are. So if you're going to bet on somebody, bet on yourself. I'm, on a panel right now with three gentlemen who, what y'all do is bet on yourselves. You guys as comedians, that's what y'all do. You bet on yourself. You don't leave that definitively in somebody else's hand. You know what you're capable of. You go out there and you prove it to the world every time you touch a stage. I think a lot of these young players are starting to understand that they're in the same position and starting to utilize that same energy and train of thought for what they're doing with their careers. And I think that that's a great thing.
I agree with that. And talent, like a commentator said, she wouldn't be her own. She wouldn't be the agent. She would hire other agents to help represent you and everything else. But maybe she has something, different that the agencies have. But again, like I said, she's the highest paid female athlete in the world, and not just from tennis, like Rodney said. That like she's also from endorsements and other things she's doing. So maybe it might be a good look. Why else would Kyrie Irving and a couple of other athletes reach out to her? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Rodney's right. What you take, Talent?
Well, Rodney's right on one thing. Like, you got mental problems. If you heard about a bank stealing money, you're not putting your money in there either. So this right here, to put your career in the hands, I know that she's running it and gonna, find a sort. I want them people to sit back a little bit, let it play out a little bit, see how good the track record becomes, the body of work. And then I might move my business over there and switch from this agent to that agent, because like Big said, we working with each other. And like, Mira's right. It's about time we take some of that back. But off the bat, first thing I'm thinking about is that interview you couldn't do. So when I call to check on my money, what you gonna do? Not today. I'm not feeling good today. You're not feeling good today. I need money for Uber and ASAP.
Right now.
I'm outside the hospital right now.
So Fig, moving on. Brittany Griner's date ended up getting pushed back a month. The United States believes that because her date got pushed back a month, it looks like that her trial is getting ready to move forward. What people might not be talking about, which is out there looming, is she literally is facing up to 10 years for vaping cartridges that she was found, on her persons and everything else. I'm kind of nervous for her, Fig. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of nervous for her because she could be made the scapegoat and everything else. All the stuff that's going on with Russia and everything else. Russia, listen, we got Russian spies here. They got American people over there locked up and everything else. She could be made an example of. I'm thinking. I hope not. But Fig, what's your thought process when literally they're rushing her trial? It seems like they're moving up a trial to be had. What's your take, Fig?
I think it's hilarious that you said that she's over in Russia and they're rushing her trial. Man, it's horrible, man, because look, we know how our people have been treated over here in America, and the fact that this woman is our complexion or she's a brown-skinned person, we know that the treatment that they're giving her from this side is a lot different than they would be had she been another persuasion. So it gives me pause, and I wonder how much they're going forward trying to get her out. And unless we have somebody that is really big over here that Russia wants back, this does not look good. You know what I mean? Because Black Americans are not important in America, and they've proven that time and time and time again. And the fact that she's stuck over in Russia, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah, Rodney Perry, what's your take on this, bro?
I mean, this is horrible on so many levels. It's a note on how Americans are treated around the world. And during the Trump administration, they went and got the rapper from over where he was. I think they should have been got her out. I think Joe Biden should have done it. He should have made the phone calls, whatever needed to be done to get this girl home. And this is way too long now. And now it's going to be another month. It's unacceptable. And this may be the beginning of World War III. We already had unrest with Ukraine and Russia over there. This could be the beginning of World War III to get the U.S. involved. And Brittany Griner might be the rock that starts it.
She might be. Amir, what's your take?
I think, I'm echoing what everybody else is saying. It is absolutely despicable that, at this point, she's still having, waiting to get something done. I find it always interesting to Fig's point. We always have these moments where when it's people of other persuasions, they move heaven and hell to, get these people, caught up or, get things done. She obviously, maybe she did or didn't understand the laws of the country she was in. The vaping part is what it is, but it's supposedly become part of the culture. Maybe not in Russia just yet, or whatever the case may be, but it is something that people seem to be doing much more so than they have in the past, or at least it's publicized a lot less. We upset we got her locked up for vaping. She wasn't selling. She didn't. She wasn't over there, trying to buy and sell. She was just partaking in something that was personal to her. Now, again, I'm not necessarily condoning using drugs or anything like that, but this is we still talking about this. Nobody's done anything to make this thing go away or to help it, get under control. Like, what are we doing? What is this country doing?
I have to concur with you, Amir. Talent, she got caught with vaping cartridges, and they're trying to give her a couple of years for every cartridge she got caught with. She's looking at up to 10 years for vaping. It's something that she's doing that a lot of these kids out here are doing right now, and not even thinking second, nothing about it. She's literally sitting in a Russian prison right now, and we all know Russian prisons are not as cozy as they are here. She's sitting in Russia right now. What you taking this, T?
How the hell we know what a Russian prison look? I ain't never been there. But this is what I heard. What I heard is vaping is a very serious offense. They're about to ship her to North Korea and make her play basketball with Dennis Rodman for Kim Jong-un. And that would be horrible. That would be worse than a Russian prison. I think that all jokes aside, though, man, Rodney said this might start World War III. They ain't never started World War, but nigga. World War? A black person detained? Might start a card game.
Wow.
Putin versus Biden, like Putin and his wife against like Biden and Kamala Spades or something like that, but not a world war. She should have been home. We all know that. But again, let's look at what's going on right now. This is political posturing.
Right.
The reason she hasn't been home is because of the timing of everything. The timing of it. They are like right now, Putin and Russia is trying to have their way with plans and plots that they're trying to do right now with war. Finland's just been thrown in the mix. How you going to threaten somebody because they want to join NATO? If you join NATO, you next. So it's a political posturing thing right now to keep America in a certain position.
Right.
Because they know it's like the old Wild Wild West. You're not going to go gung-ho when I got the hostage. That's all.
Yeah, that's all right. All right. So let's move on to something that we all were hoping Dave was going to come into, but Dave wasn't going to show up today or yesterday. You'd already do that. So
that's two in a row, Dave. Dave, it's funny. Every time Philly lose, Dave have a kid graduate or something.
He said he got stomach flu.
The stomach flu, the graduation. They always come up with something. Yeah, the man, but in the meantime, when they ain't playing, the man playing volleyball with a triple bypass. Just a triple bypass, spiking the ball. As soon as they lose,
that's hilarious.
James, my man. But Fig, let me start out with you, man. Listen, the Sixers lost last night. James Harden took 2 shots, missed 2 shots in the second half. The same amount of shots that Ben Simmons took last year in the final. It actually wasn't even in the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't think. But it's a lot to unpack here, man. Jimmy Butler led the Heat. Obviously they ended up beating the Sixers 99-90. Joel Embiid came out and said a lot of things, Fig. One thing he said in the after game, I think, was that he still would have loved to stay on Philly. I mean, there's so much to unpack, Fig. Talk to me. What you think about the Sixers losing to the Heat? What's the first thing that jumps to your mind when you hear about that?
Well, I mean, they could have lost to the Heat anyway if they would have played them straight up. But here's the thing. I heard some stuff on Sports Talk this morning, and it doesn't seem far-fetched that it's quite possible that James Harden might have sabotaged that game or be trying to sabotage Doc Rivers so he could get Mike D'Antoni in there as his coach at the Philadelphia 76ers, because I mean, whether you hitting the shots or not to take them. You take 2 shots in the second quarter. I mean, the second half of a game. You're supposed to be James Harden, before his injury in Brooklyn, was projected to be one of the top 5 prolific scorers in the NBA all time. Now, all of a sudden, you can't take 2 shots in a closeout game. This is deciding the game to decide whether you go on vacation or whether your team continues on to play another game. And in a closeout game, you take 2 shots. I don't care what nobody says. James Harden fell off the cliff, but he ain't fall that far. Where you can't take shots? Anybody on this panel could have taken 2 shots.
Rodney Perry. The thing is when Jimmy Butler was leaving, I don't know if you saw this comment. He literally was walking from the court to the thing, and he got caught on camera saying, "Y'all took Tobias Harris over me. Tobias Harris over me." He got caught saying that on camera, and everybody was like, "Ooh, that's kind of," and it's true. They picked Tobias Harris over him. They shipped him out because they wanted obviously the Ben Simmons situation. You know what I mean? They were like, Tobias Harris or Jimmy Butler. We're gonna take Tobias Harris. Right now, you hear all this stuff as we're unpacking it. Rodney, what's your take on the series?
I mean, from Jimmy Butler to what's the light-skinned gentleman?
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. Now you got James Harden. Maybe it's the Sixers. Maybe the Sixers are a problem. You know what I mean? Because we're looking at all these guys that were fine, good players until they get on the Sixers. How about this? Joel Embiid is a black hole. The ball goes into him and never comes out. He's shooting. You say, why didn't he shoot? Because he can't. Ain't but one ball. He cannot get his hands on the ball for Embiid shooting a damn ball. And the way the Miami Heat can't take that away from them. They played a great game. They played great defense, but they walled up Embiid so much again. Just like they did years before. We thought he had got out of that, but that's when he was passing the ball. Embiid don't trust nobody on that team. And as long as he don't trust nobody on that team, ain't nobody else going to be good.
I think that there was a lot of things there, but I personally, we're all older here. I don't think I've ever seen a person get interviewed and they talking about Amir still wish they were on the other team right after that. You're literally still on the court. And they're interviewing Jimmy Butler, and he's saying to them, "I still wish I was on the Sixers, but I'm glad we moved on. I'm happy to be on the Heat right now." You know what I mean, Amir? What was your take when you see all this as we unpacked all this? What's your take?
You know, again, like you said, first of all, there's so much to unpack. You know, you look at the Miami Heat. We got to give a big kudos and big shout out to Eric Spoelstra. The man went in with a game plan. They didn't defer from that game plan, which was to press. And they almost played man-to-man the entire game, like for the entire series practically. Embiid, who, we have all given props and kudos to, for being an MVP this season, he still, was in. But I've never seen anybody hit the floor so much that wasn't a guard. He was on the floor more than the freaking people who mop up the people who hit the floor. I was like, what's going on? Like, this dude was on the floor the entire 2 games. So that was a problem. I do think that he has players
on the floor, though. He wasn't no fly floor.
But I think there are 2 players that he does trust. I think he trusts the new young kid who is only going to get better. Hopefully this particular situation is going to make him better and, make him better prepared. And as I said, before the playoffs started, I told y'all the issue for me has always been where James Harden is concerned is he's box office regular season. It's the postseason where he's questionable time and time again. Now, it could be, like you said, he's trying to bring in a new coach, this, that, the third. But hold up, sir. Your job is to go out there and to perform. And that means whatever coach you have at the time, whatever players you're playing with, your job is to go out there and be the best version of you're supposed to be. James Harden seems to continuously let us down, and we continuously let him off the hook, and nobody says anything about that. We kind of put, the blame on everybody else. James Harden is too great a player or too good a player for us to be letting him off the hook like that. Come on, y'all.
I think this is the day. Today would have been a day that Mike Sean should have been on the show today because he's been telling us for a long time. T. He's been saying as the series goes on, James Harden gets worse. But T, what's your take on this whole thing, bro?
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's the main person I wanted to see, as we talked about, is him and Dave. Because Mike's been reiterating this about James Harden. I've been on my Embiid thing, so he telling you to be aware of him. I've been telling you to be aware of Embiid. The hell is he doing on the floor? Ain't nothing even happening. Mm-hmm. That dude just loved to flop to the floor. I know what happened now. He broke his own face. Because I was trying to wonder, when did they break his face? That's what happened. He keep going to the floor face first. Yeah, you're going to break your face. I don't know what they be doing in Africa, bro, but this is America. That's hard work.
Hey, but Fig, I'm going to throw this out there to you, Fig. I'm going to throw this out there. Literally, as soon as the game ended, I went to the NBA messenger boards, and people were saying Doc Rivers is going to get fired and probably land as the Lakers head coach, and that would be a bad thing. So a lot of people suggested that, you know what, if he did get fired, he might want to go to LA and play. But is Doc Rivers Fig going to be to blame for this? Like, should we blame him? Because he literally was begging his players to play. They have shown no effort.
I don't think this particular time. I don't think it's going to be on Doc Rivers simply because all of the fans and everybody watching the game looked at it and they knew that there was something fishy. I don't care what you say about James Harden. James Harden is not as bad as he played last night. And it's not about regular season. It's not about postseason or anything like that. James Harden, listen, if you take
through the game,
hold on, Rodney. Hold on.
I'm asking. I'm asking.
Let him finish.
If you take 15, 20 shots and you miss them all, at least I know you gave a genuine effort. But you didn't take the shots. And here's the other thing. Rodney, I heard what you said about Joel Embiid getting the ball, not passing back out. James Harden is the point guard. So he's the first person to get the ball and bring it up the court. If he wanted to take a shot, he could have taken a shot. James Harden, I believe that James Harden sabotaged that game last night, because there is no way that you could tell me that an NBA player is that damn bad that you can't take more than 2 shots in the entire second half of a playoff game.
Especially if you're the point guard. But the question is right now, Rodney Perry, and go back to the topic. The topic is Doc Rivers, will he be to blame for this? And if he does get fired, which is literally probably going to happen, do you see him ending up being the Lakers head coach? Because notice, Rodney. Check this out, Rodney. The Lakers haven't hired a coach. They haven't hired a coach. They're waiting for the NBA season to be over. Why is all this happening? Rodney, what's your take?
Well, I see you trying to guide me down a certain road, but I'm not going.
I'm not trying to get.
I'm not going. I'm not going. I wish I would jump on a Doc Rivers train, the loser train. Every year, Doc Rivers got an excuse of why he get his ass whooped again. Doc Rivers is a loser. Is he here? Ain't nobody scared of him either. Doc Rivers has been losing for years. And everybody like, well, maybe, and Doc, he gonna blame everybody, but they didn't blame him and Embiid. They get together and point fingers at other people. Embiid, it's your fault. That's your team. It's not James Harden's team. It's Embiid's team. He's the guy. He has to take the bread. When y'all talk about LeBron James, it's his team. He has to shoulder the blame, like it or not.
Okay.
Y'all talking about Doc Rivers, that's his team. He had to shoulder the blame. He's still pointing the finger at James Harden. So it's Embiid. So you shoot 100 times and still get your ass whooped. Whose fault is that? James Harden?
Who's over there? What's over there?
I want to know what's going on.
He turned to talk to them. Who?
I talk to Fig then. Fig, you must be losing your mind. I said, I can't believe you guys. I can't believe you guys.
Amir, what's your take? I'm done. Tell to Amir. What's your take?
You know what's so crazy? I think that Doc Rivers is to blame. But here's what's so funny. I don't know if y'all watched the game. If you saw the start of the fourth quarter, you know how they always interview the coach. And the start of the fourth quarter, Doc Rivers was like, we're only down 11. That's not, anything for us to be panicked about. Doc, obviously it is something for you to be panicked about, sir. I don't understand how you couldn't rally the troops enough so that they could get the job done. Look, Embiid and Fig, I know you keep, talking about, he might not have thrown the game. Look, his track record is his track record, sir. Like they say, the numbers don't lie. If in postseason you are trash, you trash. You can't sit on here and go, well, because of this, that, and the third. James Harden, time and time again, comes up short in the postseason. Embiid was supposed to play well too, but James Harden was, if everybody forgets, like just a couple of months ago, I want out of Brooklyn. I don't want to be here. I want to go there. Sir, you had the opportunity to go to a situation that was supposed to play out where y'all was supposed to end up in the conference finals, if not the finals. He did not get them there.
And win.
So he got to shoulder some of that blame.
And win. Let's not look past this fact, talent. What Doc was on the sideline imploring these guys to play. He literally was begging. He got caught in the mic 3 or 4 times. Come on, guys! Like he literally was imploring them. Could you please give me some effort? I was like, wow. And these dudes, like, they tuned him out. See, that's why
the best one they caught was he was like, for the love of God. That's when you know the game over.
But how is that not bad coaching, guys? Like, if you can't motivate your guys, that's all on you.
Hold on. Let me tell you something.
Hold on. Let Talent finish. Hold on. Let Talent say his thing. Go ahead, T.
All I'm saying is when, like, those outtakes, when you catch your coach, how many times on the show we talk about that connection? And this is very important. It's more now in this generation than ever, of having coaches that your players will play for respect. I think, Doc Rivers, he may be becoming that guy that's far removed from this generation and getting them to play for you. That's why you need, every team has, we always talk about every team needs a star, right? But you need the right star. You need a star, because the star should be the link between the coach, no matter how old he is, and the players. If your star buys in, he gets the team to buy in, because so goes your team as your star. So in the case of the Lakers, I don't care who they pick the coach. If LeBron buys in, he will get the rest of the team to buy in. And that's the way the trickle-down effect goes for the trust and continuity between coach and player. And they don't have it. Embiid, he don't even look coachable to me, bro. He get out there and wing it as he go. And when all else fell, he slam his face in the ground.
Worry about the wrong shit.
Can I say something here, man? Come on now. All right, guys. None of us played in the NBA, but we all played basketball. You mean to tell me you in the second round of the NBA second round of NBA playoffs, and your coach has to beg you for effort? That's the one thing your coach shouldn't have to beg you for is effort. I mean, you should want that should be inside of you. You should want to win with everything that's inside of you, because you're a player, you're a competitor. Your coach should be able to direct you where to drive that energy, but not for the energy itself. That can't be.
First of all, speak for yourself, bro.
You can't blame effort on the coach. And I don't care whether I hate the coach, he slept with my girlfriend or whatever. That got nothing to do with what I'm doing on the court. I'm a competitor. I want to win by any means necessary. That is the one thing that we never say about Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, whether he mess up or not, he gonna give you 100% effort. Whether he messes up, he's gonna give it to you. If Doc Rivers would have had Russell Westbrook last night, he would have got a better effort from Russell Westbrook than he got from his whole entire team.
Just speak for yourself, man. You opened up talking about nobody playing NBA. Let me explain something. I've been signed up with the NBA since 1997, and I'm a member. And we're making a difference. I had the National Band-Aid Alliance. We the people. For years, they had that one color Band-Aid. Now a black person can get a Band-Aid.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed that.
That's right. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Because I need them in my complexion.
You see that? You're getting a sitting O. You're getting a sitting O.
Show some respect. NBA.
Sitting O for that, T. Thank you for that. I appreciate I appreciate the blood.
Frank, I need to know what you think about that. Should players, should the coach have to coach effort? Effort?
Bro, listen, you're talking
If you
about a
say
soccer.
it twice, do it make it worse?
We're getting ready to talk about something, a complete different topic, and go deep into it. I don't even want to go to that, and I didn't even hear what Rodney said, so I'm gonna act like I didn't. I'm gonna keep this moving.
Rodney said he's stuck on Band-Aids because Band-Aids is stuck on him.
So, Rodney, I'm gonna start this next one with you since Fig had the last comment on that. The Dallas Mavericks were able to stay alive last night. We got a game 7. Phoenix looked like a shell of themselves. I watched that game. I'm like, these guys seem like they gave up. They stayed competitive enough into it, but it looked like they kind of gave up expecting to go to Phoenix. But in game 7, anything can happen. And Dallas has the momentum. I would be concerned if I'm Phoenix, but some people are not. What's your take after you watch the Dallas Mavericks stay alive to move on to game 7 with Phoenix in Phoenix? What's your take, Rodney Perry?
I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. I've been watching the NBA a long time. And just when you think a team is done, the other team just don't play. That's why I was asking Fig during his comments, are you implying that Harden threw the game? Yeah. But yes, stuff like that happens. You had a Phoenix team that could the side of a barn. It was atrocious. They all look like James Harden for a little while. So you say to yourself, did these guys throw the game? Well, why would they? I'm convinced of this. I think the NBA has profiles on everybody, right? They know how to push these folks' buttons. They know how to get them out of their character. You might get a call that day going, your mama eggs nasty. And that could be the thing that make you off for the day. They know. And when they have an interest, they exercise the interest. But Luka played out his mind last night. He did his stuck dizzle. But I don't know, man. Does the NBA want Luka more than they want Chris Paul? That's the question. And that'll be the winner.
Greg, what's your take on this, bro? How are you looking at this?
I absolutely love what I saw last night, man. We all thought Dallas was finished, but we thought Dallas was finished because we didn't know if Luka was going to play. And as soon as he came back, they started playing and they started winning. It was almost like what happened to Philly when Joel Embiid came back. They won a couple of games when Joel Embiid came back. I think Luka gave them confidence. And like I said, role players play good at home. So Dallas was at home yesterday and all the role players stood up. That one kid that's playing alongside of Luka that looks really, really, really good is the kid Brunson, the point guard. This kid is undersized, and he's doing the damn thing whether he's away or whether he's at home. He's playing his little behind off, because I don't want to curse. He's playing his behind off right alongside of Luka Doncic, man. Them two, if they play like they played last night, Phoenix could be in trouble, but Phoenix is at home and their role players will play good on the next game. So it's going to be a dogfight in Phoenix. You know what I mean? But I think Dallas has a good chance of being able to take it.
Yeah, game 7s is something else, Amir, that anything can happen in game 7s, Amir. But as you saw, Dallas was able to extend it to game 7. What's your take on after you looked at the Mavericks stay alive, Amir? What's your take?
I thought it was a great game. Dallas was home. Look, even though we have moments where sometimes the home court advantage gets switched up, the best thing that happens is the ship can be righted once you get to your own home floor, your own home cooking and all that stuff. So I think what we saw with Dallas last night is they were home. I think the same thing is going to happen when we see Phoenix go back home, because they'll be in their home court. They'll have their fans. They'll have the energy, and everything will be with them. Game 7s, yes, are always, kind of all over the place. But the reason why I kind of give Phoenix the edge is because, let's not forget, Phoenix was in the finals last year. It's not like Phoenix is still on the trying to figure it out. Those guys kind of understand what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to go about it. I just think that yesterday they ran into a Dallas team who had an opportunity to get home, be in the environment that was, felt comfortable to and for them. And that's what we saw last night. But like I said, I think Phoenix is going to do the same thing once they get back to their home court. We home now. What y'all want? Warriors, come out. Yeah.
But see,
You know,
let's be honest. I don't think anybody on this panel thought the series was going 7. I don't think anybody thought it was going 7. So Dallas surprised us all in that aspect. What's your take on Dallas staying alive, T?
It's still anybody's game, even though I would put my money on Phoenix. It's matchups, man. And that's where the surprise comes in. That's the thing we never factor in, the actual matchups. You could take a team that went 20 and 60 and put them against the total opposite team went 60 and 20. But if those two teams happen to match up solid, you're in for a series or a game. You know, I think that is anybody's series now. But like he said, they're going home now. So now you got to deal with a different hostile environment, and they're gonna be fired up, bro. They're gonna be fired up in there at every bucket, every loose ball, every steal and outlet, and it's gonna be a mad. I want to see that. Game sevens are just they're like Jason Voorhees game sevens. You know, you just hear them. You can't wait to see who lived to the end.
So tonight there's 2 games.
Right.
There's 2 games tonight. Grizzlies at the Warriors, the Celtics at the Bucks. Let's start with the Grizzlies at the Warriors. We all know that the Grizzlies destroyed the Warriors last game. Like they almost went up by 55, I think it was. But the Warriors are playing at home, and the Warriors are up 3-2. Does anybody up here think that the Warriors are not going to win tonight and close out the series? Fig, I'll start with you.
No. I mean, I picked the Warriors before the season started. So,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, man, look, the Warriors, look, especially, here's the thing, especially after what happened to them in Memphis, Warriors are going home.
Yeah.
Their role players are going to play better. The role players have stars and championship pedigree, and they're not over the hill. I think the Warriors are going to open up a can of whoop that trick, just like they were singing in Memphis. And Draymond Green got along with him. He's like, oh, y'all want to whoop the trick? Okay, all right. I see y'all next game. Sort of like what my man did to Giannis. What's his name? God, you know his name, Frank? The center for Boston.
oh,
Harper.
Like when Giannis dunked on him and like gave him the stare down, he was like, oh, all right. Oh, okay. Oh, that's, all right. That's what the Warriors are going to do to Memphis. Memphis was dancing, singing, swinging the towels. Draymond Green said, I'll see you at the crib.
So, Rodney Perry, the other game tonight is going to be the Celtics at the Bucks. I already know who you got because we got this running thing going on.
I don't care about the game. I don't care who wins. I do have money on the Bucks, so I'm, but to be honest, I mean the Boston Celtics look really good, but they're going to the home team, and home team it's just not as easy to win on the road, man. I mean, although I want to see the Boston Celtics go home just so you can have that little funny little look on your face. This could go either way.
Okay, Amir, if there was, out of the 2 games that's happening tonight, right? If there was going to be a team that was going to win tonight that you wouldn't expect, who would you pick to be the Memphis Grizzlies series, Memphis and that series, Memphis Warriors, or the Celtics Bucks?
wow. Ja's not back, correct?
Right.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to keep it, take it away from the Grizzlies. So then it would have to go to Boston. But again, the situation with the Boston game, and even the other night, because I didn't think that they were going to win that game. I didn't think that Milwaukee was going to win that game. That was just a game of attrition. It came down to the very end there, and baskets and things that was made at the very end when everybody was super tired, and all that stuff was the difference in that game. But if I had to pick, it would be Boston, because I think without Ja Morant, the Memphis Grizzlies won't have enough in somebody else's house. I think Ja is that extra battery that Memphis would need if they were gonna pull that off.
All right, same question to you, Chi. Out of the games tonight, if there was going to have to be a surprise winner, who would you pick would be the surprise winner? You got the Warriors and the Grizzlies. You got the Bucks and the Celtics. Which game would you say? Go, you know what? That might be the surprise because you're the betting guy on the panel.
I think the only one that seems viable would be Boston, because Boston can, they've shown us through the series that they can rally and they can keep the game close. And we know at the end of the game, them seconds tick down, close game becomes anybody's game. I don't see the other series, them having a shot in hell in that hostile yellow ass environment. Yellow is a psychological color people don't know. Like if you play somebody and they got yellow, it can mess with your cataracts or give you cataracts. Like, so you gotta be careful when you play Lakers home, Warriors home. Sometimes Denver used to have it. Like, anybody got that yellow, bro? It doesn't sound funny, but read the Asian blogs on video games and colors and spectrums, how it messes with you up here. I'm messed up right now. Look.
I don't know about you. I really don't know about you, T. I have to talk to you about.
There's a color behind Fig that's drawing me in.
So, last question about the NBA. I want to move into the NFL real fast. Mike Brown was the coach the other night. He was obviously stepped in place, everything else. Last night, man, actually all day yesterday, which I didn't even realize until I started reading some stuff. People were upset that Mike Brown got the head coaching because Mike Brown, we all know, assistant coach of the Warriors and everything else. He got the job of the Sacramento Kings right now. He got that and everything else. But people were like, they should rescind their offer of him being the head coach King. And then Stephen A. Smith came on and basically said that he's lucky he already was able to get the job and was hired before that game because he might not have got the job offer that was going to go to him, might have got pulled off. Do you agree with that, Fig? Do you think because of that demolishing, when they literally almost were losing by, what was it, 59?
50 some points, yeah.
Do you think the Kings would have continued to make that job offer if they had seen what they saw the night before? I mean, the night after?
Oh, listen. We're talking about two different teams. When you have a head coach, he's not the only coach. You have an entire staff. The thing what nobody talks about is that Mike Brown is the defensive coach for the Golden State Warriors, and he wasn't supposed to be focusing on offense. He even said the game before he had to do a lot of studying to brush up on the offensive side of the ball. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you have games like that where you just don't have it. You know what I mean? And you lose.
Okay.
And I think that's exactly what happened. Mike Brown, this is not the look. I think Mike Brown had to coach for Steve Kerr maybe like 10 times. He's 9-1. So you're gonna rescind the dude's offer to coach because he lost one game out of 10?
Rodney Perry, what you think?
Why you rescind a coaching offer?
Rodney Perry. Stephen A. Smith said on a First Take that he literally thinks that they should rescind the offer to him because he coached so horribly. Your take, Rodney?
Wow.
I mean, they did get beat by 39, but that's no reason to take the guy's offer away. Stephen A. should shut his mouth. Look, man, Mike Brown, he deserves another shot. He's been a head coach. He's been bopping around the league. He's probably got more shots, than some of the other guys we've been talking about. And I would, nobody want the job out in Sacramento anyway. I wish they would. I wish they would take the offer back, like they somebody.
Amir, what's your take?
I think that I think that it's being overblown.
I wasn't finished either. For the record, let Fig ramble on for 12 minutes.
I'm sorry, you got long pauses. I thought you was finished.
I'm still searching my mind for some more shit, but go ahead.
Fig don't have long pauses. You got long pauses.
I think that Mike Brown, deserves a shot at head coach. You can't press him about a one, game situation. First of all, in the league, teams get blown out all the time. And it just happens. That happens from lack of concentration, maybe fatigue, and just thinking to yourself, you going into a cakewalk. Don't forget, Golden State is on the verge of like I said, reinventing themselves or putting themselves back in the fold. As I said on the show before, it's funny. Again, same thing for Steph Curry. when the Golden State Warriors weren't doing well, and everybody's gonna say, "Well, Klay Thompson was down, and this was happening." I didn't hear nobody talk about how Steph Curry wasn't able to carry him. Not one time. Everybody just was quiet about it, and we just let it rock. But Mike Brown just had a moment where a team got the better of him. Steve Kerr, as we all know, is the head guy for that team, and we'll see what Mike Brown could do next year when he actually has a team that he's totally responsible. Then we can judge him on that.
We don't get his ass to next year.
How about this talent? I'm gonna say Rodney Perry's cool. How about this? Steve Kerr would have lost by 59 too. You know what I mean? No matter who was the coach, they would have lost by 59.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's funny is yesterday's episode of Box Seats, man. I go to the bar last night. I spent 2 hours at the damn bar. And people picking apart all. We done did the top 5 everything by the time the night was over. We arguing. Hamburger was in the house. Shout out to Hamburger. He's on top 5. I agree, man. Don't matter who the coach was in certain instances, but the nerve of somebody, they're going to rescind the offer because of some one thing that happened. Like, I'm not even a coach. Like, you offer me something else. Like, yeah, them dudes got blown out, bro. When I get to your city, well, they don't. I be like this. They don't listen to me, man. But when I get to your city, I'm.
You think I got blown out in L.A.? Wait till I get to your team.
I want to get to one more story of an NFL, but then I want to close out. We'll talk about Sharonda. So we're gonna move fast with this. We're not gonna have no 12-minute soliloquies. We're gonna talk about this real fast. And one thing I want to talk about, throw this out there real fast, is that Nutkamatsu, I can never pronounce this dude's name, and Jadeveon Clowney are both signing with the Browns. Now the Browns also got, we all know, the Browns also got Deshaun Watson as QB. So, we're waiting on word for those two to sign up. But right now, if those two dudes sign up, Fig, they're going to have one of the best defenses in the league. And they might even have one of the best offenses in the league with Deshaun Watson, Fig. So, with that being said, Super Bowl or bust for the Cleveland Browns? What you think, Fig?
I don't know if you can say Super Bowl or bust for the very first year that a team gets together, because just like every other team, they have to develop some chemistry and gel. But I'll tell you one thing, it wouldn't surprise me, because you saw what Deshaun Watson was able to do with the Texans, and they didn't have nobody. Mm-hmm. And you saw what the quarterback did for the Cleveland Browns, man. And he's nowhere near Baker Mayfield. You never see, he's nowhere near on the caliber of Deshaun Watson. So they might. I wouldn't put it past them.
Rodney Perry, Super Bowl or bust for the Cleveland Browns. You got Deshaun Watson. And they're gonna have Clowney and Sue on the other side of the ball too. The best and they already had a great defense.
Hey man, and I got some great friends of mine that are Cleveland Browns fans. They're at Super Bowl or bust every year, and they're gonna bust again. Let me tell you something. The Browns, it's. I don't care who they get. They're gonna find a way to lose. I don't care who they get. They had Baker Mayfield living at the stadium, and they find a way to lose. They got a great running back. They don't play him. They find a way to lose. The Cleveland Browns are who they said they were. Losers. They should be with Doc Rivers on vacation now.
I want to make sure you're done, Rodney, before I interject.
Yo, he said we got Baker Mayfield living at the stadium. Yo, that's hilarious.
You saw the commercials.
The commercials are funny.
Rodney Berry said they're going to bust again. That was hilarious.
That's hilarious. Every year they Super Bowl.
I'm going to tend to agree with Fig on this one. I always think that when you have championship pedigree, it comes from cohesiveness and the team understanding and being of one accord. So we have to wait and see if they could be of one accord. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with what the players that they now have as part of their roster. So this should be good.
Talent, your take, bro. Roll the bus for them.
Oh man,
I'm with Rodney, man. They going bust again. The man crazy. They Super Bowl bust every year. They gonna bust again.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it to the AFC Championship game with the Cincinnati Bengals. I wouldn't be surprised. I think they're gonna do good this year because
Ohio AFC.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen.
The country can't take it.
I know I wouldn't be able to take it, but listen, the Bengals got better, and how much I mean, that's really crazy to say. They got better, and they already won the Super Bowl, and now
Who won the Super Bowl this year? The Bengals won.
The Rams won.
Okay.
Rams.
Yeah, the Rams won.
Yo, Frank, I got a suggestion. If the Bengals and the Browns make it, we got to take this show on the road and do the show.
I'm not going. I don't want to be a part of that. It's gonna be pandemonium.
All right, since this is Sharonda Rogers week, bro, I want you all to end with some of your favorite, because you guys met her, you guys know her, everything else. We're gonna end this show because we gotta get ready to wrap this up. Fig, tell me your favorite memory of Sharonda Rogers, and leave it at that, because we was trying to dedicate this whole show to her all week. And I'm gonna start out by saying this: Sharonda Rogers she came on board to help me out. Like I said at the beginning of the week, she was a great asset to this show. I was shocked to learn of her passing on Monday. I loved her. Like, she was a great asset to the show. I could have seen me knowing this woman until I was 80 years old. I really started to really enjoy her presence and everything else. Fig, what's your thought on Sharonda? Since it's Sharonda Rogers.
And man, Sharonda had the unique ability to bring in somebody that was new and make them feel like they was a part of the family and like they were a part of the circle for like years and years and years, man. She had a hospitality about her, man, that they can't teach. You know what I mean? It was a gift, and she made everybody feel welcome and comfortable, even if they were absolutely brand new. She was a friend for a lot of years, but over the last few months, I must have talked to Sharonda at least 3 times a week on so many different things that we talked about, and she became more than a friend. She became more like a sister. You know what I mean? She's just dope, man. I have nothing bad to say about her. She was just dope, man. She on so many levels.
Rodney Perry, what's your favorite thought of Sharonda Rogers?
Just a great person, man. She would call me right after she got on the phone with Fig and tell me her ears were hurting. She was like, "Yo, that guy can talk." I was like, "Yeah, he sure can." And we would have lots of conversations, and
I hate you.
Such a kind spirit. She would tough out those long conversations, man, and that's what's good about her, and her kindness is a virtue. And all jokes aside, she would go out her way to help us all, man. I mean, she even helped me, get the word out on a couple of shows just on the strength. And I was like, "Yo, what can I pay you?" Yeah, but keep your little money, you little cheap ass. And I don't know why she had to talk about me like that, but just a good woman. And to be honest, I was gonna try to hit on her at one point, and I didn't. But I didn't know she was gonna check out. I would have done it. You know what I mean?
Man, what's your take on this, bro?
Hey, Sharonda, as I said earlier in the week, she was one of one, man. The other unique skill set that she had was her ability to put people together. She had a very, very interesting way of being able to say, "Amir, call Fig. He needs your help on something." And she didn't make it, like a hard sell. She's just like, call him. He got something he want to discuss with you or whatever. And by the time you finished the conversation with Fig, you guys were working on a project and, doing whatever, she foresaw, even without you foreseeing it. So that was
how long was that conversation?
and then her other true gift was, as everybody's alluded to, she's just one of the most genuine people you ever want to meet in your life. Like, you can talk to Sharonda about anything. She would, do anything she could to be helpful to and for you. And, for that, I'm going to miss her. I'm along with you, Fig. She started calling me her brother. I'm going to call her my sister. I miss my sister. Job well done. I love her. And as my uncle used to always say, to be continued.
As the person who's known her probably the longest on this panel, Talent, you got the last word on Sharonda.
I mean, these guys, I just love hearing people talk about it because it's synonymous. Like, we all, the same qualities like stood out. Like what Fig said, her skill was bringing people together. Like, we were in the business, we're still in the business of when we throw these excursions and trips, the show is one thing, but when you throw these gatherings where people are going away for a week together on a cruise or 5 days to resorts in other countries, you need people like her. My business and our company benefited from women like Sharonda that came in as volunteers and end up, being a part of the mix. But they came in as volunteers because it was something that they believed in. But those people were so valuable because the one thing us men lacked was that, like Fig said, you bring new people into the fold and make them super comfortable out the gate. That was one of her skills. And even with comedy, when I used to we was laughing on a Motivational Monday because I remember, I can't even count how many times, this is the type of person Sharonda is. A new comic, I bring them on stage and it don't go well. And they bomb their ass off, right? So me as the host, I got to go up there and make fun of the bomb that just happened. So sometimes I'm laying into these young people 10, 15 minutes because it's so hilarious. But while I'm doing that, Sharonda got this person at the back of the room consoling them. And in real time, in the same time, she back there just work on your thing, man. Don't let talent, he's just up there doing whatever. But what you need to do is boom, boom, and stay the course. And she hitting them with all that stuff. So by the time I get off and the room is laughing at whatever comedian that is, they still feel a little empowered. They don't feel all the way depleted from what I did because she's over there buffering them back up, getting them ready for their next time to hit a stage and the do's and don'ts. Yeah. That's the type of person she was. And by the time I go over there and say something to them, they're like, yeah, I spoke to Sharonda. She said, and she every single time without fail, when they hit the deck and go up in flames, it's like she just clock in, put a cape on. Come here, let me talk to you, young lady. Let me talk to you, young man. This is what you did wrong, man. First of all, don't pull your cock out. What are you doing out there? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, and that's something that somebody else would probably have somebody do. This is just her doing on her own because of who she was. And as of recent, Sharonda always dealt with medical issues, being anemic and crazy with the asthma. Her asthma was severe at times where, she could pass out at any given time. And she just as recent, I would say in the last since COVID probably, paid more attention to her body talking to her through her illnesses. And she would, because before COVID, Sharonda could be having blood coming out of her ear, but I got to make it. I got to put it in the mailbox. I'm going to the post office. She was like that. So as of recent of COVID, she said, T, I got to start listening to the signs of my body and calming down and listen to the messages my body's sending me. Hence that day, Sunday, we had 2 shows of Stress Factor. She's supposed to be there. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. First show's 3:30. 1 o'clock, I get the text yeah, babe, I'm not going to make it. Y'all go ahead and do this. I'm gonna sit this one out because my body, I'm having trouble breathing, not feeling good. And I'll catch you, we'll talk later. And we exchanged, it was Mother's Day, so she sent me a picture of her mom, I sent her the thing of my mom, and that was it. I got to talk to her later, which never happened, but I'm glad that everybody encapsulates the same energy and the same synonymous person she was. She's like, we ain't gonna be able to replace her, I tell you that.
I'm trying to tell you.
Job well done. Mir said it right. Job well done.
Well, on that note, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Anybody doing anything this weekend? Fig, you doing anything? Anybody doing anything this weekend?
No, man. I'm a haunt talent in Rodney and Namir.
All right, Rodney, you out this weekend?
I got a new bottle of lotion I'm breaking in.
I'm hanging out with the guy on the other side of town. We got one of the last of the Mohican birthday celebrations going down in White Plains tonight. So if y'all in the area, come on out, have a laugh with us, and enjoy.
I mean, see, talent. So he said he spoke for you, so I ain't got to ask you where you got.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's called the Coliseum. It's in White Plains tonight. 2 birthday shows with an after party. We're doing a 7:30, 9:30, and go roll right into the after party. I got a dozen comedians coming out showing love tonight, so we're going to get it in. Between the shots and the comedians, 2 shows, y'all. Tonight, White Plains, Coliseum. Tomorrow, if you got family in Tampa, Clearwater, check my page, come on out, and support there. Another birthday shindig. We going all out because
I need to get your address, talent. I want to send you some of this lotion to Amazon.
On that, we out. Y'all have a good weekend. The show called Doc Eats. We talk about sports with comedians. We're on the Humor Mill app. Make sure y'all check us out. The replay will be
hold on real quick, Frank. You guys, the services are going to be next Friday. I'll send you guys in.
Okay. Cool.